Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have completed our first website, and now in this lecture we are going to start this second website. Here you can see that it is awesome. Here this is the awesome font, and I'm going to teach you each and everything how to build this logo and the header. So first of all, this is the home page, and we are going to start coding this home page. And now here I want to tell you another thing, that this logo and this menu is placed inside the header, and this black area is the header, and then this slider is placed inside a separate section. It is not inside the header. And then the content area is start from this point, and the content area is in the separate section, and this is the footer. So now let's start create the website. Here is, I'm going to create new folder. I'm going to give it to name, and here first of all I'm going to create a folder for the CSS files, and then here I'm going to create the index.html, the home page. Here it is. Here check it. Here is 2, and now here I'm gonna write index.html. And now after this we have to create the CSS files, style.css and the grid.css. So now here it is. I'm gonna save it in the CSS, style.css, and here it is. Here I'm going to give grid.css, and now here the both files are created, and now I'm going to create the HTML page structure of this home page. So now here first of all start with the doc type. Here is HTML, and then after this we have to place HTML tags, and here is also HTML, and then here is the head, and then here is the closing tag of the head, and then here we have to place the body after the head. It contains all the code that is shown on the page. And now here I'm going to save it, and now here in the head first of all I'm going to give it the title. Here is its title. You can give it any title. Here I'm going to give it new, and now here I'm going to put the link code to link the CSS files. Here is the link, and here I'm going to write hyperreference CSS folder, and then here is the style.css, and then here is the type is equal to text CSS, and then here is the relate to the style sheet, and then here I'm going to increase it. Here is the grid.css, and now here in the body we have to create the structure of this page. So first of all the header, then a section for slider, then a section for the content area, and then a footer element. And here it is. First of all header, and before the header here we have to place another element, that is the main. All of this content is placed inside the main. So here I'm going to create the main, and here is the main, and then here first of all we have to place the header, and here is its closing tag. Here it is, and then a section for the slider, and here it is, and here is the closing tag, and then a section for the content area. Here it is the section for the content area, And now after this we have to place the footer, and here is the footer. And now what we need to do, we just want we just need to include the fonts. Here you see that this is a awesome font here, and I'm gonna include this font and other one that is here. This is Lotto font, and this stylish font is the Bilbo font. So I'm gonna include these files. I'm gonna include the add font face. First of all, here I have already downloaded the files of the font. Here you see that. Here I'm gonna cut these files, and here I'm gonna paste it inside the CSS files. Here it is. And now I'm gonna include these fonts in the style.css by putting the font face. Here is the font face, and then here is font family. First font family is Bilbo, that is the rough font, and the stylish font here is Bilbo. And here I'm gonna give it source is, here I'm gonna write URL, and then here I'm gonna copy its name, Bilbo regular, and here is, and its type is OTF dot OTF. And now I'm gonna again copy it, and then now I'm gonna include the Lotto font. Here is, we have to write Lotto, that is the simple font. Here is, we have to write Lotto, and now copy its file name, and here paste it here, and here is TTF, and now it is included, and this is the Lotto and this is the Bilbo. And now the next thing is, we also need the images, that is here, this is an image, this is an image, this calendar is an image. And now here I have already downloaded the images, and here is the images. And now I'm gonna put all of these images here in the website folder in the 2. Here is the images. And now what we need to do, we just need to give the style to the body. I'm gonna give the basic style, and in the next lecture I will teach you how to create this logo and the menu in the header. And now I'm gonna give the style to the body. Here is the body, and here I want to tell you something. If you write this comma, if you write this name and the extension of the font in the comma, then it will be okay. Sometimes it creates the problem when the words have the spaces, so that's why I have write it. And now here I'm gonna give the style to the body. First of all, give it the width 100%, because website is 100%. It is on the full screen. Here you can see that it is on the full screen, so that's why we have to give the 100% to the body. And here I'm gonna remove the padding and margin of the body. Here is the margin, and then here I'm gonna give the font size and the line height to all the text that is in the body. If we cannot apply font style or anything on it. And here is Arial, and here is color is hash 484848, and here is the font style is italic, and then here is the background is white. Now let's execute it. Here is its file. Now it have not any style, so there is nothing display on this website. And in the next lecture we will build this logo and this menu. We are gonna start doing it. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hello guys, in the previous lecture we have built the HTML page structure. Here I'm going to show you. Here we have included these fonts. I have give the style to the body, and now in this lecture we are going to start building the header. So here is the header, and now let's start. First of all, we will insert the logo image in the heading. And now here in the header, first of all we have to write, here is a div, here it is a div, and inside this div we will put both things, the navigation bar and the heading. Here is first of all the heading, it contains the image, and here is anchor tag, and here I'm going to give hyper reference of the index.html. when we click on the image, so the index.html will again open, and here is the image source, and here is the images /logo.png. and now I hope it is okay. And now here let's check it, but now it have not any style. We will give it a style, then it will be okay. Now after this we have to create the navigation bar in the nav element. Here is the nav, and here is closing tag of the nav. And now here what we need to do, we have to put the UL. Here it is the closing tag of the UL, and here is the menu. And now here what we need to do, we have to put the list items, and here is the list item. And now here is the anchor tag, here is the closing tag, and here is the home, and here is the hyper reference and hash. And now here I'm gonna give it the class current. We have already used this current class, so now we are in the index.html page, so we will use this class to give it the different color when we are on the home page. And here you see that it have the orange color, so this is given by using that current class. And now let's give it the style. Here I'm gonna first increase it. Here it is about, and here is the services, and here is the products, and now one more is the contacts. And now we are gonna give the style to it, and here it is. First of all, give the style to the header. Here it is. Here first of all I'm gonna give the width to the header, so header have the 100% width. Here is the 100%. Here you can see that this header is spread all over the screen, so that's why its width is 100%. And now here I'm going to give a background image to the header. Here I'm going to show you the background image. Here is the background image, that is just a strip. And now here it is background, and here is the URL, here is images, and here is the header background.jpg, and here is 00, and 00 is the position in the x-axis and y-axis, and here is repeat, so this image is going to be repeat when it not cover the full area of the header. And now here it is present, and now we will adjust it, then it will be okay. And here is the border, bottom, I'm gonna apply a white border on the bottom side. Here you see that a white border is applied. Here you can see it here, and now here it is 1 pixel solid. Here is HFFF. To the H1 heading, here is the H1. And first of all, I'm gonna give it display inline block. Here is the display inline block, and then here is the Z index. I'm gonna give it the Z index. Here I'm gonna give the greater Z index to this header and to this menu, and then I will give the lower Z index to this slider. Here you can see that this slider image is just like that, it is downside and this header is on the upper side. Here you can see that this image is just on the down side of this header. This header is on the top, so that's why I'm gonna give it the greater Z index. And here I'm gonna give it 2Z index, so then I will give the 1Z index to the slider, and now I will give the same Z index to this menu, so then it will be shown on the top, and then I will give the lower Z index to this slider. And now here I'm gonna give it margin from the left side. First I will show you how it look like. Here you see that it have not the space on its left side, so now I'm gonna create the space on its left side by giving the 300 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give it the margin from the bottom side, so a space is created under the logo, and here is the margin from the top side of the logo is 16 pixel, and here is the position of the logo is relative. Here is the relative, and then here is the float to the left. Here is the left, and now here let's execute it. So now it is render, and now it is just okay. When we give the style to this UL, then it will be completely okay. Now I'm gonna give the style to this navigation element who contain this UL. Here is this and this. First of all, I'm gonna give it display inline block, so there is no new line before and after it. Here is the display inline block, and then here I'm gonna give it the Z index to this menu equal to the logo Z index. So now both have the same Z index, both are shown on the top. And now here I'm gonna give it position relative, and then here is the float to the right side. Here is the right, so now the menu is shown on the right side. Here we have to write this semicolon, so now here the menu is on the right side. It will be okay, it is just when now we are writing the code, so that's why it is happening. And now here is I'm gonna add the margin from the right side of the menu, so the space is created on the right side 300 pixel, and then a space is created on the bottom side of the margin. Here is 20 pixel, and now let's render it. So now here you see that this is the space is created 300 pixel, and here is also the space is created. And now here I'm gonna remove the margin padding and the list style of the UL. Here is the UL, here it is something other, and here is the margin, and here it is the padding, and then here is the list none, and now it's okay. And now here I'm gonna apply the style on the UL. Here is this UL. First of all, I'm gonna give the margin on the top side of the UL, a little margin, and here I'm going to write UL dot menu. And here I want to tell you something, that whenever we write the element name and then we have to write its class name, so don't add the space between the element name and the class name, because this class is given to this element, so that's why we don't need to write the space, otherwise it will create the problem. But when we are writing a completely different class, here mu is a class, and then it is not allowed to write the element name with the class name which is not given to it, then we have to write the space, so it will not create any problem. But now this class, menu class, is given to the UL, so that's why we don't need to write any space. And here I'm going to give the margin 28 pixel top side and all the sides are 0. And here is the display inline block. Here is the inline block. And now I'm going to give the style to the list items. Here is the distance is created on the top side, and now I'm going to give the style to the list items. Copy this and paste it here, and here it is. And now here I'm going to write float left, and then here I'm going to give the line height. Here is the 30 pixel, and now here, and now I'm gonna add, first I will show you, here is the float left, and now I'm gonna add margin on the right side of every list item, so a distance is created between the list items like this. This is the margin, right? And here I'm gonna write margin, and here is the 30 pixel. I think 48 pixel is fine. And now I'm gonna give the style to the anchor tag that is in the list items. Here I'm gonna copy this, paste it here, and here it is. And now here I'm gonna give the font size. Here is the font size is 25 pixel, and then here is the line height 30 pixel, and here is the color of the text is, here is hash F2 F2 F2, it is just like a gray color. And here is the display inline block, and now here is, I'm going to give the style when we take the mouse over the anchor tag, so this style is going to be shown on the screen. Here is hover when we take the mouse over the anchor tag, so this color is going to be shown. Here is, here it is. And now let's execute it. So now here you see that when we take the mouse over it, so a color is shown. And now here I want to tell you another thing. We also need to apply a style on the current class. We have created a current class when we are on the home page, so it will apply the style on the current, here list item, and here I'm gonna write UL dot menu. And now this style is going to be applied on the home. Here I'm gonna check it, why this orange class is applied on all. Here you see that we have applied this class on all of these elements. In one page in the index.html we have to apply this color only on the home, and now it's okay. Here it is, and now we are on the home page, so it have this color. And here you see that this black background is not apply. So why this is not visible to us? Because we have give the float left to this h1 heading, and then we have give the float right to this navigation bar. So now both elements, a header and this h1 and all the things are mixed up, and these things are float onto each other. So that's why here I'm gonna create a div, and after this navigation bar, and I'm gonna give it the clear both, then it will be okay. Here is the div, and here is the class clear, and here is the div closing tag. And now here I'm gonna use this class to give the clear both property, because we are not able to give the clear both to the nav because we have give it the float right, and we are not able to give the clear both property to a floated element. And now here I'm gonna use it clear, and here is this and this, and now here I'm gonna give the clear both, and now here is the width of this div is 100%. And then here, now let's check it. So now it is edit, and now here you see that all the menu is okay. Now we have to apply the font on it and the style on these anchor tags. Here first of all, here is I'm gonna apply the Bilbo font. Here is the font family, Bilbo, and now we have already included it. And now I'm gonna make this is I'm gonna give the text decoration and all the things. And here is the margin right, margin top, and here is the margin right of the list items. So all the things are now applied. And now I'm gonna give the style to the anchor tag. Here all the anchor tags. Here is the text decoration, none. First of all, text decoration is become none, and then here I'm gonna give the vertical align to the top. So in the y-axis, all the anchor tags are aligned to the top position. And then here, when we take the mouse over the anchor tags, and here is its text decoration is already none. And here I'm again apply this, because we will apply a text decoration underline on some anchor tags. So when we take the mouse over these anchor tags, so it's become none. Here is none. And now let's check it. So now it is made it, and in the next lecture I'm gonna build this slider. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this header, and now in this lecture we are gonna build this slider. So if you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. So now let's go and build the header slider, and here is the section for the slider. First of all, here I'm gonna give a class to this section. Here is this, and here I'm gonna give it slide, and then here I'm gonna create a div, and its class name is slider, and here is its closing tag. And now here I want to tell you something, that this slide class is given to this section because we want to give the width 100% and the background white. So that's why this section class is spread on all over the screen. It have the white background here, and then in this div, slider div, we will put this image, and we will give it the height and the width, and width is 1080 pixel and all the things. And then here I'm gonna make another div, and in which we will put this text, and here it is. First of all, I'm gonna insert the image. Here it is, src images. Here is slider 1.jpg. And now after this we have to give the text in the div. Here it is. Here is the div, and here is the banner, and then here is the div. And now in between this, here I'm gonna give the first paragraph. Here is the paragraph, and here is the class text1, and in between this I'm gonna paste the first paragraph. Here, first line, we have got an idea. Here I'm gonna show you. Here it is. Copy this text and then paste it here, and now here it is. And now this idea is in the strong. Here is strong. Here is the strong. And now here, after this, we have to give another paragraph, and here is that paragraph, and give it the class text2. Here is p, and now here it is. And now here is the closing tag of the div. This div contains the text. Here is the image and all the things. And now I'm gonna render it. And here is the image. This I is the part of the image, and here is the text. And now we are gonna adjust it, then it will be okay. And now I'm gonna give the style to this slide, then I will give the style to this slider, and here I'm gonna give it the style. Here it is, and here I'm gonna add a comment slider so we can see that the slider is starting from here. Here it is, and here is this, and here is the slide. First of all, give it the width. Here is the width is 100%, and here is the height of this div is 496 pixel, and then here is overflow hidden, and here is the z index. I'm gonna give it the z index 1 because we have give the z index to the here to the menu and the logo. So now it is appear on the top, and this images appear little bit down. It have the lower z index, and then here I'm gonna give the margin 0 pixel auto to move it in the center, and here is the position, and here is the background -FFF, and here is the border bottom. Here is 1 pixel solid, and here is -FFF. And now let's render it. So now I'm gonna give the style to the slider, and then it is adjusted because now we have given all of these styles to the div that is around it. And here I'm gonna give it the style to the div that contains the image. Here is the slider. Here it is, and first of all give it the width of this div is 1080 pixel, and height is 496 pixel. Here is 496 pixel, and here is the overflow hidden, and then here is the position is become relative, and here is the margin 0 pixel auto, let's execute it. So now it is in the center, and this is also the port of the image. And here you see that we have given it the width and the height. Here why we have give it width 1080 pixel and the 496 pixel height, because it is the width of this image. Here I'm going to show you dimensions are 1080 and the 496, so that's why we have give it the width and height of the image. And now I'm going to give the style to the banner div. Here is the banner div. First I'm going to adjust it. Here is that contain the text. Here is the banner, and here is first of all the position. Here is the relative, and then we have to give it absolute position because we have to move this div at this point. And now here it is, and here I'm gonna give it the z index 0. Why I give it the z index 0? Because this text is shown below the slider image. The greater z index is of this header, so it is shown on the top, and then the lower z index is the slider, so it is shown under this header, and then this text have the lower z index than this slider, and it is shown below the image. And now here is I'm gonna give it the position to this div 97 pixel, and here is the left side is 723 pixel, and then here is the width of this div is 320 pixel. And now it is on this side. Here you see that this text is appear, and now I'm gonna adjust this text by giving the style to the text one. Here I'm gonna use this class. The text one is this first line, and I'm gonna give it the margin on the left side and the bottom side, and then I will give it the white background. Here you see that this is the text one. We will give the margin on the left side and the bottom side and display it as a block, and then we will give the font family separately to this text one because we are going to use this text one at many places. So here first of all text one, here is the text one, and this style is only going to be applied on the text one that is inside the banner, and we will create so many text one at many places. So here is the block, and then here is the margin left. Here is the 88 pixel, and then here is the margin bottom. Here is the 25 pixel, and here is the background white, and here it is adjusted. And now we have to give it the font family and the font size. So now I'm gonna use this text one class. I'm not gonna give the font family here because this font family is apply on many other text, because we have to use this text one at many other places. So here I'm gonna paste it. Here is first of all font weight. Here I'm gonna apply the font weight is normal, and then here I'm gonna add the space, and then here I'm gonna apply the color of the text is become black, and now here I'm gonna apply the font size 60 pixel, and then here is the line height 72 pixel, and now here it is. And now let's apply the font family on this text one. Here I'm gonna apply the font family Bilbo. Here is the Bilbo, and now here it is apply, and now here you see that this text is in the strong. So now I'm gonna give it the font weight normal, and then I'm gonna reduce the margin on its top side and display it as a block. I'm gonna give it the style dot text 1, and here is this, and here is strong, and then here I'm gonna apply the font weight normal, and then here is the margin top -32 pixel, and here it is, and here is the display block. And now let's execute it. So now this text is okay. Here you see that it is now done, and now I'm gonna edit this text. I'm gonna give the style to this text, and here is, we have given it the class text2 to this paragraph. Here I'm gonna copy it, and then here I'm gonna give it the style. Here is this, and now here I'm gonna apply a different font family on it. It have the Lotto font family. Lotto here is, if you directly write, so it's not going to create any problem. And then here is the font weight. I'm gonna give it the font weight 300 pixel, and then here is the font style is italic. And then here is the color of the text is just like gray, and here is gray for it, and then here is the font size is become 21 pixel. Here is the font size is 21 pixel, and here is the line height of the text is 48 pixel. Here it is. So now it is okay, but now here I'm gonna reduce the margin that is given to the paragraphs. Here you see that the space is created, but before this, here I'm gonna reduce this line height, and here is, we have to give 35 pixel. Now it is okay, and now remove this space on above it and here, and here I'm gonna reduce that margin. Here is, I'm gonna write here after it P, and then here is the margin is 0, and then here is the padding is also 0. So now here it is. So now it will be okay. So now the slider is ready, and in the next lecture we are going to start building this content area. First of all, we will build this part, then these lines and its text, and then this our ideas part and the latest event, then this footer. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video, and if you have any problems, kindly add the discussion on Udemy. I will help you as much as I can. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this header and this slider, and now in this lecture we are going to start building this content area. First of all, we will build this thing, then this, and then this. So let's start. Here first of all, in the content area, here I'm going to give it a class to this section, content background, to give it the height and width and the other properties and the background. And here is a div. Here is its class container, and here is the div. And now in this container we have to create the content area. First of all, we will create a row, a div who have the class row, and we create the same div in the previous website. So the row class is just for giving the overflow hidden properties and the inserting the space before and after the content, and it is just used for giving the clear both property, so the content is not gonna be flowed onto each other. Here these two things, who we are and the starting up, inside a same div, so its class is row. So this is in a separate row div, and then we will create another row div and then put this thing, this heading, and then we will create another row div and that will contain these two things. So here I hope you understand, we will create the content row wise. First of all this row, and then this, and then this, and this div can have the width 50% and the 50% is given to it. And now here I'm going to create a div, and here is its class. Here is row div, and here is the closing tag. And now here I'm going to define a div for this thing, and here it is. But before this I'm going to give the style to the content, background, container and the row. Here it's copied, content, background, and then here I'm gonna paste it here, and here it is. And then here I'm gonna give it the width 100%, and then here I'm gonna give the padding to it 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 0 pixel, and here is also the 0 pixel, but we have to provide 48 pixel padding on the bottom side of the content area to create a space between the footer and the content area. Here you see that. And now here I'm gonna give it the background, a gray color background. Here is the hash f2 f2, and now I'm gonna give the style, I'm gonna give the width basically to the container and the row. Here it is. First of all, give the height and width to the container. Here it is. Give it the width 950 pixel, and then here is the position is relative, and then here is the margin 0 pixel auto, 0 pixel auto, and then here is the padding 0. And now I'm gonna insert a little space before and after the row, so in this way the content is not going to be mixed up. And first I will show you when the content is mixed up, then I will give the style to the row class. And now let's go to the next point. In between this we have to create a div, and that div will contain this image and this text. So its width is 50%, so here I'm gonna create it, write div, and here is the class, and here is the adjust one to by, so we can give it the width. And here I'm gonna check it all the closing tags are present. Here we have to create another closing tag, and now this box one is given to it to create or to apply the style on this text and the image to align it. And now here we have to give the wrap call div, so you have already know wrap call, apply the margin around it when we give the wrap call to any div, so the distance is created between the content and the boundary. So here I'm gonna give the wrap call. Here is the wrap call, and now here is the wrap, and now increase it, and Now first of all we need to insert the image. Here is the src and here is images. Here is page 1 img1.png, and now after this we have to create a div, and in that div we will put this heading and this text. So now we have inserted this thing. Here I'm gonna check it. So here it is inserted, and now here we have to create the div for the text. Here is the div. Here it is, extra wrap, and now here we have to give the h2 heading, h2, and here is the who we are, and now here I'm gonna give the paragraph. Here it is, and now let's start. Here I'm gonna copy it, and then I will give the links, and first link is apply on this free website template. Here is the anchor tag, here is the hyper reference, here is the hash, and here is the anchor tag closing tag, and then the next link is apply on the responsive themes. Here is the responsive themes. Here is the anchor tag, and here I'm gonna apply this, and then we have to apply the class on this link to give the style to the link, and here is the class link. Here is this, and here the next link is present on the Fahad Ishfaq. Here it is, anchor tag, here is hyper reference, here is the hash, and here it is anchor tag, and then we have to give it the class to this anchor tag is link, and then we will define the style for the link, so that style is applied on all the anchor tags. So here the first div is created, and now let's check it how it look like. So now here is the text, and now I'm gonna adjust it. First of all I'm gonna define the adjust one. The adjust one is not created, and we have to create the adjust one. Here is container, and here is dot adjust one, and here is width is 50%. So now here this 50% is given to this side, this who we are, and then 50% is given to it. And now here I'm gonna give it the float left and display inline block. Here I'm gonna copy this and then paste it here, and now here I'm gonna put the float left. Here is the float left, and here is the display inline block, and here it is. And now here we have to give the wrap call margin. Here I'm going to define the container, and here is the wrap call. Here is the margin 10 pixel. Here you see that now the width is given to it, and now I'm gonna give the style to the other things. Here is create the style for the extra wrap, in which we will give the overflow, hidden, and the other things. And here is the extra wrap. Here I'm gonna create it here. extra wrap. Here is overflow hidden, so there is nothing that is going to be overflow from this div. It is present inside the div. And now I'm gonna give the style to the box one. Here is the box one. This is the main div, and now here is the content background, and here I'm gonna give the style to the box one. Here is dot, and here it is. And here first of all I'm gonna give it overflow hidden, so nothing is going to be overflow from the div. And here is I'm gonna give it the padding from the top side, and from the this 40 pixel is from the top side, 0 pixel is from the left and right, 34 pixel is from the bottom side. And now here you see that a padding is created. And now here you see that this is the background, but this box is floated out this background because we have not provided the style by using the row class. Then this thing is not going to be floated on other element. So we have give the float left to the adjust one, so that's why it act like this. So now I'm gonna provide the style to the row, then it will be okay. And then I will give the rest of the styles. Here is dot container, and here is dot row, and before the row I'm gonna insert this style, and then here is after the row, and here it is. And here is the content is, and now here is the display block, and then after it we have to provide overflow hidden. And then here is the visibility is also hidden because the space is not visible to us. We are just using it to separate the content, and so it's not going to be float on onto each other. And then here is the width is also 0, and here is the height is also 0. And then I'm gonna give it clear both. So after the row I'm not gonna allow to any element to float onto each other. Here you see that this is the row div, and I'm gonna provide after the row div. It's mean after the row div, when the row div is finished, so there is no element that is going to be float into each other. Here is dot, here I'm gonna copy this, here it is, and now here, and here is after, and then here it is. And now here we have to provide clear both. And now here save this, and now here it is reloaded. So now the background is applied, so now it is not going to be float onto each other. And now here I'm gonna give the style to the box one image and the box one heading. First of all I'm give the float left to this image, so the text is also going to be float with it. Here is the box one img, and here it is. Here is float to left, and then here is margin top. Here is -3 pixel, so margin is reduced on the upper side of the image, so here it is adjusted. And now I'm gonna give the style to this h2 heading. Here is the h2. First of all I'm gonna reduce this margin on the bottom side. Here is box 1 and h2, and here I'm gonna give margin bottom is only 8 pixel, and now here it is. And now I'm gonna give the font family and all the things to the H2. Here is, I'm gonna give it here because we have to use this H2 heading at many places, so that's why here it is H2. And here is the font size is 31 pixel, and then here is the line height 40 pixel, and here is the color is black, and then here is the font weight is become normal, and then the font family Bilbo, and here is the font family Bilbo, and here is this. And now I'm gonna remove the margin and the padding of the H2. Here we have 0 the margin and padding of the paragraph, so here I have write H2. Now it will be okay. Here you see that. And now the difference is this, that we have to provide the style to these links by using the link class. Here is, I'm gonna use that link class here, dot link, that is given to the anchor tags. And here is, first of all, I'm gonna define the color is hash ff9000, it is just like orange. And then here I'm gonna give the text decoration none. And then when we take the mouse over these links, so text decoration is become present, or in other words it is underlined, and here it is, text decoration is underlined. And now here this is created, here you see that this is created. And to create the second part, what we need to do, just copy the code and just change the image. So now here I'm gonna copy from the adjust one and then paste it after it inside the row div. This is the closing tag of the row div, and here it is. And here you have to write 2, and here is starting or whatever the text is present here. I'm gonna checking it out, and starting up, here is starting up, and here is the S is capital. And now let's execute it. And now the both parts are prepared, and in the next lecture I'm gonna make this thing, and then I'm gonna start building this little gallery. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. See you in the next lecture. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this content area and we reach at this spot, and now in this lecture we are gonna build this thing, that is the lines, and it contain the text. So how it is created? First of all, we will create a div, and in that div we will give this background image, and then we will repeat this image, and then we will give this image in the background of another div, and it have the bottom position. So these are two different divs, background. And now let's start. After the closing tag of the row, here I'm gonna check, this is the closing tag of the row. We have to create another row. Here it is, and here I'm gonna create the row, and here is the closing tag of the div. And now here, first of all, create a div, and here is its class. Here I'm gonna give adjust 0 because this thing have the 100% width, so that's why we have give it adjust 0. So we will give it 100% width, and then here is, and now after this here, so the first line, this first repeated image is given in the background of this div, and then here I'm gonna create a div that will contain this text, and in the background of that div we will give this image. Here is its name is wrap call. Here I'm gonna give div class wrap call, and here is the div. And now first of all here I'm gonna write the text, and here is this, and now here is the text. But before the text I will give these images, these lines, then it will be okay. First of all, create adjust 0, copy this, and now here is and here is adjust 0, 100% width, and here is this, and now here is adjust 0. And now I'm gonna give the style by using the box tool and the wrap call. First of all, here I'm gonna using the box tool, give the background image. Here it is. Here is the box 2, and here is, first of all, give background. Here is the URL, and here is images, and here is line 1, here is line 1 dot gif. And now here I'm gonna give 0 0, and then I'm gonna repeat this image in the x-axis. And now let's check it. Here it is, and it is present here. So here this image is created, it is repeating now. And now I'm gonna create the second line on the bottom, and here is the second line. I'm gonna insert that line by using this box 2 wrap call. Here is, I'm gonna write box 2 wrap call dot wrap call, and here is, I'm gonna insert this image, and here it is. Here we have to write bottom, and now here I'm also gonna give it the padding. So now here is a 15 pixel space on the top side, 36 pixel on the bottom side, 0 pixel. Here is a text line to the center, and here let's execute it. And here you see that this is the image that is inserted in the background of the wrap call, and it have the space on the above it, 15 pixel, 36 pixel on the bottom side, so a distance is created. Here you see that. Now I'm gonna give the text between this div. Here I'm gonna copy this. Here this is the div wrap call, and I'm gonna paste it, the text inside it. So now here is the text is display in the div. And now here, first of all, there is a first paragraph. Here is its closing tag, and now here I'm gonna give a span around the startup, and here is, I'm gonna give the class. Here is the text 3, And now here is another paragraph, and here I'm gonna give it class text 4 to give it different font size and font family, and here is its closing tag. And now this div is created, and now what we need to do, we have to give the style to the text 3 and the text 4. Here I'm going to show you. Here it is, and let's use the text 3. First of all, I'm going to give it the style to the text 3. Here it first of all we have to give it the font family Bilbo, and then color is gray type #48, and here is the font size is become 50 pixel, and here is the line height 60 pixel. And now here I'm gonna give the style to the span text that contain the startup. So now here I'm gonna give the different style to this text that is startup, and here I'm gonna look at it why it is not applying this style. Here save it, and here it is applying because we have not saved this. So here I'm going to give it the different color by using the span. We have enclosed this text in the span, and here is the color HFF, and then here I'm going to give the style to the text 4. Here I'm gonna give font family Lotto, and then here is the font weight 300 pixel, and then here is the font style italic, and then here is the color is #48, and then here I'm gonna give the font size is 30 pixel. Here it is, and then here is the line height 36 pixel, and here is the letter spacing -1 pixel. And now let's execute it. So here it is okay, and we have applied a style on it, and now here you see that there is much space on the top side of this paragraph. So now I'm gonna reduce it, and there is also many space on here above this line. So now I'm gonna reduce it here in the box. Here I'm gonna use dot box 2, and here is I'm gonna write text 4, and here is p dot text 4. Here I'm gonna write margin top -7 pixel, then it will be okay. Here it is. So now it is adjusted, and now I'm gonna create this part, and this part contain the width 66%, and this part have the width 33%. And now both of these parts or the sections are inside the row div. And now first of all we will create this, then this. Now for this we have to create another row, and then we have to create a separate div for this and other content area. And now let's start. Here is the row is closing, and here I'm gonna create another div, its class name is row, and here is the div. And now in this row, first of all, I'm gonna create this section. It have the 66% width, and that's why I'm gonna give it the div class adjust to, and then here is its closing tag. And now here I'm gonna provide the wrap call, div class wrap call, and here it is. And now one more, and now here I'm gonna insert a heading h2. Here is the h2, and here I'm gonna write our ideas. And now here I want to tell you another thing. We have to create a space on the above side of the heading. Here you see that this space. So for this, here I'm gonna give the class top1, so we can create the margin on the top side, top1. And then here after this we have to create all of these three images and their text. So here I'm gonna contain these three images in a single div whose name is box3, and we will give the width and the height and the space on the upper side of these images by using the box3 div. Here is box3, and here it is. And now here I want to tell you something, that now we have to put these images. And now first of all I'm gonna put the first image in a single div, and this text is also inside the div. And now let's start. Here I'm gonna make a div for each and every image. Here is the div, and now here I'm gonna insert the image. First we have to insert the image in it. Here is the image, and here is the source, and inside the source here is images /, and here is page 1 and image 1 image 3.jpg. And then here I'm gonna give a class to it, image border, so we can apply the border around the image. And then after this we have to paste a link. Here we have to paste the link. Here you can see that this is the link. I'm gonna copy this link and the text and paste it here. So now here is, we have to put the anchor tag, and here is its opening hyper reference, and here I'm gonna give a different link 2. And now here I'm gonna give a paragraph tag, and now let's check it. First image is inserted. Here you see that it is inserted, and now I'm gonna give the style. First of all I'm gonna create the adjust to. It have the 66% width. Here I'm gonna create it, adjust to, and here is 66.66%, and here I'm gonna increase it to float it to the left side. And now I'm gonna give the style to this by using this top one. Here you see that there is no difference on the upper side of this heading, so now I'm gonna use this. Here is copy this, and I'm gonna create the margin top 30 pixel, and here it is. And then here at the end, here it is margin top 30 pixel, and here is the dot, and now it is created the margin on the top side. And now here is the next thing is box 3. I'm gonna give the style by using the box 3 and then the image border and then the link to. Here is the box 3. Here is box 3 and here it is. Here is overflow is become hidden, so there is nothing goes beyond this box 3. Here is the box 3 and now I'm gonna apply the style on the divs that are in the box 3. Here you see that this is the box 3 div and now I'm gonna apply the style on this div and the next div which contain the image and the next div. So it will apply the style on all the divs that is in the box 3. Here is the width. So now it will give the width to the image div. 180 pixel is given to this div and then here is the float it to the left. So the image div is float to the left and here is the margin right, so the margin is created on the right side, so all the images are become separate. Here it is. So now it is on the left side and text is also is on the left side. So now this is just by giving the style or to the div that is inside the box 3. When we create the other divs, so it will also apply on the other divs. And now I'm gonna give the style in the next lecture. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Here in the previous lecture we have left at this point, and in the previous lecture we have give the style to the div that are inside the box 3 and now it is float to the left. Now I'm gonna copy and paste the code and now I'm gonna create more divs and the pictures. Here it is 3 and here is it is 5 and here is the 4 and now let's execute it. So now it is at this point and now here why it is here I'm gonna remove it and I will discuss it later, so that's why I remove it. So now here you see that this text, this style that we have applied on all the divs inside the box 3, it is still present, apply on this div. And now I'm gonna give the style to the image. I'm gonna provide the image border like this white border and then I will give the style to this anchor tag and then I will insert this third one. And here is the image border. Here we have to write dot image border. Here I'm gonna apply 8 pixel solid and hash ff border and here we have to write border. And now let's see it. So here the image border is applied and now I'm going to give the style to these links by using it class that we have given it link to. Here is the link to, copy it and paste it here after the link and here is the link to. First of all, here we have to provide the font family. Font family is Lato. And then here we have to provide the font weight 300 pixel. This style is applying on this link that is here. And now here we have to provide font style is italic, and then here is the color of the text is become orange, and then here is the font size is become 20 pixel, and then here I'm gonna apply the line height. Line height is 25 pixel, and then here is the text decoration is none. And now I'm gonna apply the underline when we take the mouse over it. Text decoration is underline, and here is hover, and now here it is. So now when we take the mouse over it, so its color is changing. So now these two things are almost same. And the next thing is I'm gonna insert the third one, and here you see that there is a space is added because we have give the margin right to the box 3. Here you can see that here we have give the margin right 25 pixel to all the divs. So now when we insert the third one, so it also have the margin right 25 pixel, so that's why it is floated to the next because there is no space on the right side. So now here I'm gonna give it a special class, and then I will adjust the margin right. I'm gonna reduce the margin right. Here is give it the class last, and we will give it the less margin right by using its class. Here is dot last. Here is, you see that it is here. Now here is margin right is 0 pixel. I'm gonna give it 0 pixel margin right because there is no image on that side. Important. And then here I'm gonna give the padding right is also 0 if anybody gives the padding on that side or it is present. So here it is adjusted, and now I'm gonna change the name of the image. Here is 5, and now here it is. And now what we need to do, we have to give the display inline to this anchor tag, and then we have to create the distance on the top of this anchor tag and the below of this anchor tag. And here I'm going to give it the distance. Here is, I'm going to use dot box 3, and here is dot link 2, and here it is. Here I'm gonna write div, and then here is the anchor tag, and now here I'm gonna write the display inline block, and then here is the margin on the top and the bottom of the anchor tag. Here is 15 pixel 0, and then here is the 6 pixel bottom and 0 pixel for the right side. So now here you see that a distance is created, and now the next thing is we have to create the button like this. This arrow is an image, it is inserted in the background, and then this button. And now let's create it. And here we have to create that button after the closing tag of the box 3. Here I'm gonna check this is the box 3 and here is its closing tag. So here after it we have to write its code. So now here I'm gonna write anchor tag, and here is the hyper reference hash, and here I'm gonna write anchor tag, and here is the read more, and then here is the class button top 4. And so now by using this button class we will insert the arrow image, and then top 4 is just used to give the margin on the top side. Here I'm gonna give the button style. Here is the button, and now first of all background image. Here I'm gonna create a distance. Here it is, and here is the URL, and then here what we need to do, we have to write add images button and .png, and here is 0 0, and now here we have to write no repeat, and now after this we have to give the color black, and then this color is given to the anchor tag, but later we will change it. And here is the font size 24 pixel, and then here is the line height 30 pixel, and then here is the display inline block, and then here is the padding 2 pixel from the top, 0 pixel from the left, 5 pixel from the bottom, and 43 pixel on the right side of the anchor tag. And now here I'm gonna change the color when we take the mouse over the button over the anchor tag, so its color is become yellow, green type color. Here is hash 579700. So now here it is inserted, and now we have to give it the font size, font family, and then we have to give it the margin on the top side. And here I'm going to provide it font family first, Bilbo, and then let's render it, and then I'm going to apply the font margin on the top side, so a distance is created by using the top 4. Here is the top 4. I'm gonna change it, top 4. Here I'm gonna give it 14 pixel, and now let's check it. So now it is complete, and now we are gonna create this part. So for this part we have to create another div who have the 33% width, and we have to create it inside the row. So here I'm gonna check what is the closing tag of the row. Here this is the closing tag of the row, and I'm gonna create here. One closing tag is missing, so here I'm gonna increase it, and now this is the closing tag of the row. Here is this, and now here we have to create that div who have the 33% width. Here I'm gonna check it. This is the closing tag of the row, and now here we have to write div, and here is the class adjust 3, and now here is the div, and then here is the wrap call, and here is the wrap call, and then here it is, and here is the h2 heading, and here is the latest events. Here is the latest events, and here is the class top 1. And then after it we have to create 2 divs. First div contain this date and its text, and then the second div contain this date and its text, and then this button. So now here I'm going to create the first div and give it the class top 2, so we can create a distance on the top side. Here is we have to include its closing tag. In this div we will paste this date, this first date, May 2012 and 29, and here is the div, and here is the div, and now here we have to give the class date, and then here is the strong, and the strong contain the 29 date or anything. Here is we have to write 29 here. Here you see that this 29 is the text, and this white and red color is an image in the background of this strong, and here is the span, Here is its closing tag, and here is May 2012 or 16. You can write anything. And now after this we have to create the paragraph that contain the text. Here is the paragraph, and here is this is the paragraph. We have to copy it and then paste it here, and the first line is in the anchor tag. Here is the first line. Here is the hyper reference, and give it hash and then class link. Here is the link, and here is after we have to give br break, and now it is okay. So now this is the div which contain the date and all the things. First div contain the date strong, and this 29 is in the strong because we have to give the background image to this 29, and then this text is in the span. So now I'm gonna execute it. Let's check it how it look like. So now I'm gonna give it the style. Here first of all we have to create this adjust 3. It have the 33% width, 33.33%, and here it is. And now here is 3. And now here I'm going to give the style to the next thing. Here is the top one. I'm going to create a top one. I think so it is already created. To create a margin on the top side, here it is, margin on the top side. And then here is the top two to create the distance between the heading and this text. And now I'm gonna look at it. Here we have to create the top two. Here is top 2, 10 pixel. Here is the 10 pixel, and now let's render it. So now here is the distance is created, and now the next thing is the date. So now I'm gonna use this date class, and then I will give the background to the strong, that is the image that is here, and then I will give the style to this span text, and the style to this link is already given, and all the things are okay. So now I'm gonna give the style by using this date class. Here it is, and now here is the content area. First of all, date. Here is date. Here is overflow hidden. Here is hidden. And then here we have to give the style to the text that is in the strong. I'm gonna give it the background. Here is strong. Here it is. And now here first of all I'm gonna give it display inline block. Display inline block. And here is the background. Here I'm gonna give it URL / images, and here is the date, and here is .png. This is the background image, and 0 its position, and here is the no repeat. And now here I'm gonna give it the width to that image, to the strong, and it is the width of the strong. Probably it is given to the strong, to the image. This width is just like it is given to the strong, but it is also the width of the image. Here is 53 pixel, and now here is the float to the left side. Here is the left side, and here is margin right 5 pixel, and then here is the font weight. Here I'm gonna give the font weight Here is the font weight is normal, and then here I'm gonna give the color is black, the text color is black, and then here is the font size, and here is the font size is 40 pixel, and the line height is 48 pixel. Here is 48 pixel, and then here is the text line to the center, a line to the center. And now let's execute it. So now here it is. We will give it the font family, then it will be adjusted. So I'm gonna teach you the rest of the things and the footer in the next video. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we reached at this spot. We have given the style to this 29 strong text. We have inserted this background image, and now we are gonna give the font family to it, and then we will give that style to this text. Here it is, and here is the font family. Font family is Bilbo, and then here is, I'm gonna give the style to the text that is in the span, and here I'm gonna apply the font family on it. Font family is Lato, and here is the font weight. Font weight is 300 pixel, and here is the font style. It is italic, and then here I'm gonna give the color to the text is black. Here is black, and here is the font size. I'm gonna give it the font size 20 pixel. Here is the font size, it's become 20 pixel. Here is, I'm gonna give it the line height is 24 pixel, and then here I'm gonna increase the distance, and here is the display is inline block. Here is the inline block, and here is the overflow is hidden, and then here is the margin is top. Here is the margin is top, is margin from the top side is 21 pixel, so a distance is created on the upper side. Here you can see that. And now what we need to do, we have to just copy the code of this text and then paste it again. Here I'm gonna do this. Here is copy it, and then here we have to paste it here. A little change is we have to provide the margin top different, and here I'm gonna provide the top 3, and here is the top 3. Here I'm gonna provide more margin because the previous margin is given to create the distance between the heading and this text, but now it is between these two things. So now the next thing is we have to create the read more button under it. You can change this text. Here I'm gonna copy its code. We have already created it. Here is copy it and then paste it here after the div, and now here it is. And now the next thing we have to create is this footer. This footer is so simple, it contains only these 3 images and this text and this little text. So now we will go in the index.html, and then in the footer we are gonna create the footer. And here first of all I'm gonna create this text. This is in a single paragraph, but we have provided the 3 break lines and these links. So now here I'm gonna paste it here. So let's start. Here we have to create this symbol by writing copy and copy, so this symbol is going to be created. This symbol is copied, so that's why I remove it. And here after the startup we have to provide another break line, so the new line is started, and here is it. And now here we have to provide the anchor tag on this website template. Here is the hyperreference, here is this, and here is class link, and here is the anchor tag, and here is the break line, and then here is the anchor tag, hyperreference, this, and here is the class link, and here is the anchor tag, here is the closing tag. And now after this we have to insert these images that are here in a separate div, but now reload it. So now it is inserted when we give it the style, so then it will be in the center. And now here I'm gonna create a div for this text and the images. Here it is, and here I'm gonna create that div, class social icons, and here it is the div. And here first of all I'm gonna put a span, and in the span I'm gonna write the text. Here is follow us, here it is. And then here I'm gonna insert the images in the anchor tag. Here is the hyperreference, and here is the closing tags, and here is the images source, and here I'm gonna write images / icon, and here is 1.jpg, and I'm gonna increase it. Here is the 2, and here is the 3. So now when we click on the first image, so it will be open the Twitter, Facebook and the Gmail. So here what you need to do, you just need to write the link of the Twitter. Here I'm gonna write these links. You can write these links, but here I'm gonna write only one link. And now all things are done. Here are the images are inserted when we click on the Twitter, so the Twitter is open, but now the internet connection is not available, so that's why it is not opening. And now I'm gonna adjust this content. Here is the social div, and here is the footer. So let's arrange it. Here in the style, I'm gonna give the style to the footer first. Here is the footer, and here is the width 950 pixel, and then here is the overflow is hidden, and then here is the margin to the footer is 0 pixel auto, so then the footer is in the center. And then here I'm gonna give it the padding 31 pixel from the top, 0 pixel from the left, 20 pixel from the bottom, and 0 pixel from the right. And now here we have to open it, and here is the website. So now the footer is at this place because it have the 950 pixel width, and we have given it margin 0 pixel auto, and that's why in the x-axis the center is here, so that's why it is here. So now I'm gonna align this paragraph. I'm gonna give it float left. Here is the paragraph that is in the footer P, and here is this, and here is the float left, and here we have to give text a line is in the center of the paragraph, and here is the 580 pixel width of the paragraph. And now here it is floated to the left, but it is text aligned to the center, so that's why it is in the center. Float left, just give it the position on the left side, and text align center, move it to the center. And now I'm gonna align these buttons. I'm gonna give it the float right, and then the margin from the top side and the left side. Here is social icons. First of all, I'm gonna give the style to the div that contain these icons. Here is hidden, and then here is the float to the right, and then here is the margin is 8 pixel from the top. Here is 8 pixel from the top, so the distance is created on the top of the social icons. And here is the 73 pixel on the left side, 0 pixel. And now here it is adjusted to the left side, distance is created on the top side. And now here I'm gonna give the style to this span text. I'm gonna give it per font size and the font family and all the things. Here is the social. So now here is social icons, and here is span, and then here is the display is inline block, and then here we have to give the float to the left side. So this text in the span is float to the left, these icons are float to the right, so a distance is created. Here is the color of the text is black, is 0, and then here is the font size 20 pixel, and then here is the line height 27 pixel, and here is the margin on the right side, so a distance is created between the images and the text. Here is 17 pixel, and now here I'm gonna give the font family Bilbo, and now here it is. Okay, and now here you can see that this is almost same. And now I'm gonna apply some other styles, so then it will be okay. Now I'm gonna give the style to the anchor tag, and I'm gonna give it the float to the left. Anchor tags are now float to the left side, so it is moved to this side, and the div is floated to the right. The anchor tags are floated to the left. Here I'm gonna give social icons, and here is anchor tags, and here is display, here is inline block, and here is float to the left. To the anchor tags are now on the left side of the div, and here is the margin on the right side. Here is 19 pixel. So why we give the float to the left to the anchor tags? Because here when we give the float right to this social icon div, so these anchor tags also contain the float right, so that's why it is on this side. So when we give the float left, so now it is moved to this side, so now it is just look good. And here we have give the margin right to the anchor tags, so that is why here is the distance on the right side. And now here when we take the mouse over these images, so these images is become transparent, so its opacity is reduced. So now I'm gonna give it opacity, low opacity. Here is power img, and here is opacity is 0.7. so now it is okay. Here it is. So in this way we will build the footer, so you can change its code, you can practice it code, you can create your own website, you can use this code. So what you need to do, just practice the code, and if you find any problem or if you find some new knowledge, so kindly add the discussion. Our knowledge is become enhanced, our problems are going to be solved. So don't be a shy guy, so always add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can, and in my next lecture I'm gonna create this about page, and I will teach you each and everything. First of all, what you need to do, just copy the code of the header and the footer, that is same. Then we will create this content area. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video. Hi guys, and now in this lecture we are gonna build this about page. It contains the information about the company, about our startup creative team. So now we are gonna start with this part. In this video we are gonna build this section, and here in the about page we also need the row div. First of all, these two sections, this section and this section, is placed inside a row div. This section have the width 66% and this section have the width 33%, and then we will create this. We have already its code, we just need to copy and paste it, and then we will create this part and then this part. So let's start from this part. Here what we need to do, first of all we need to create the about.html page, and then we have to copy the same code. Here is new, and here it is, and here I'm gonna write about.html, and then here I'm gonna paste the index.html code, and I'm here first of all copy only the header, and here it is. And now after this we have to copy the code of the footer. Here is the footer, the closing tags, and then the footer, and here is, and here it is. And now both things are created, and now here in between this we have to create a content area. So for this what we need to do, we have to create the container and the other div, and here is container and the content background, and here these two things are necessary, so that's why here I'm copy and paste it here. And now here I'm gonna create the closing tags of the div. Here it is, and then here is the closing tag of the section. And now here I want to tell you another thing, that is here we have also need to give it second class, that is top. So by using this class we will create a distance between the headings and this header, actually the content area and the header. And now here I'm gonna correct the menu. Here we have to give about.html, and now when we are in the about.html page, so we have to give this class to the list item, second list item. Here it is, and then here I'm also gonna change it. Here it is about.html, and now let's reload it. Here is our page, and now here is the about.html page. Now this is just the footer, it have not any content, and now I'm gonna put the content inside it. First of all we're gonna create this part. We have to create a row div here to create that part. Here is this class row, and here is the div. So now in this row we will place this section and this section, and here is I'm gonna place the div. Here is the class adjust to, and adjust to have the 66% width, and here I'm gonna create its closing tag. So now in this adjust to section we are gonna create this thing, and here is the first is the wrap goal. Here is the wrap goal. Here it is, and now here is the closing tag of it. And now first of all we need to give a heading. Here I'm going to increase this space, and here is the h2 heading. Here is h2. Here we have to write about our startup, and here it is. So now this heading is created, and now what we need to do, we have to put this content inside the div. These are all the paragraphs. This is the paragraph, this is the separate paragraph, then this is separate, and here is the div. Here is the class box 5, and here is the right one, and now here I'm gonna increase its closing tag to create its closing tag. And now by using this box 5 class, we will give the padding on the upper side and the padding on the bottom side and overflow hidden properties. And by using this right one class, we will create the distance on the right side. And then here I'm gonna give the paragraph. Here is the adjust to. Here I'm gonna give the paragraphs. First of all we have to insert the image. Here is the source, and here is the images. Here is the page 2, and here is the img1.jpg, and now here is the class image border left, float left. And now after this, what we need to do, we have to put the paragraph, first paragraph, then the second, and then the third one. Here I'm gonna reload it. First of all save it, and here is the image, and then here I'm gonna create a paragraph, p2, and then here is the p, and now here it is. And now here is the paragraph, and now I'm going to create the second paragraph. Here is it. And now here I'm going to give the paragraph. Here is this paragraph, and here it is. And now the third one paragraph. And why we give the p2 to these paragraph, this is p2 class. So by using this class we will give the padding on the bottom sides of the paragraph. Here is the space on both of these paragraph. And now the third one we don't need to give the padding p2 class to the third one, because it have the less space under its bottom, so it will be okay. And here is paragraph, and now here it is. Copy it and then paste it here, and here is this section is ready. And now after the closing tag of this div, here is this, after the closing tag of the box 5, we have to paste this read more button. I'm gonna copy it from here. Here it is, read more button, and here it is. And now let's execute it. Here is the paragraphs are present, but now I'm gonna give the style, so then it will be okay. First of all, I'm gonna give the style to the box 5. This is the div that contains the image and the paragraphs. Here is the box 5. First of all, here is about page, and here is the box 5. Here is, and here I'm gonna give it the overflow hidden. First of all, here is, so no content is going to be overflow from it. And here I'm gonna create the space on the top of all of this section. Here is the 8 pixel, so a distance is added between the heading and this picture and these paragraphs. And now I'm gonna give the style to the image by using this. Here is the dot box 5, and here is the image. I'm gonna give it the margin to the image. Here is, I'm gonna give it 4 pixel from the top. Here is, we have to write margin, and here is 4 pixel from the top, and here is the 10 pixel from the left, 0 pixel from the bottom and the right. And now this distance is given to it. And now I'm gonna give the style to this right one to create a distance on the right side here. And now here it is, and here I'm gonna give it dot right. Here is the margin right 40 pixel, and now it is okay. And here is, it is added, but you cannot see it. When we create the content on this side, then it is shown to you. And now here I'm gonna give the style to the image border is already given and float left, so then the image is floated to the left side, and this text is also to the float to the left side. And here is, I'm gonna give float left, float left, and now here it is. Now it will be okay. And now here I'm gonna add the distance between these two paragraphs and here at this point. And now here it is, I'm gonna use the P2 paragraph, and here is at the end, we need to use it at the end. And here is the padding bottom, here 13 pixel. And now let's execute it. So here it is, and now all the things are okay, it is created. And now I'm gonna create this second area. And so now let's start. First of all, it have the width 33%, so here is the adjust to. And after this, inside the row div, I'm gonna create the adjust 3. Here is the div, and here I'm gonna give the class. You can also use the section at the place of the div. In the previous website I have used the section at many places, but you can also use the section at that places, so it depends upon you. And now here is adjust 3, and here I'm gonna increase it. And now here I'm going to create the wrap call. Here is the div of the wrap call. Here is the class, and here is the wrap call, and here is increase it. And now here first of all I'm going to create the heading. Here is h2 heading. Our creative team, and then here is, and then after it what we need to do, we have to create the separate div for each segment. Here you see that this image and this text is placed inside a same div, and then this text and image is placed inside a separate div, and then this image and text is inside a separate div. So here I'm going to create the first div. Here it is, class, and here I'm going to give it box 6, and here is top 5, and then here I'm going to give a space, and here is, this is the first div, and in first of all I'm gonna put the image source, and here is images, and here is page 2, here is image 2.jpg, and here I'm also gonna give it the class. First class is the image border to create a white border around it, and then the image indent. So what is the functionality of the image indent? By using the image indent class, you can give the space or the margin on the right side. Here it is, and we are creating this first profile, this person profile, and here I'm going to copy this text, and then here is first of all this, and here is the paragraph, and here is the closing tag of the paragraph. And now here first this name is in a anchor tag. Here is the anchor tag, here is the hash, and here I'm gonna give link, and then here is the closing tag, and here is the BR, and now it is okay, and let's check it. Here is this div. Here I'm gonna close it. It is started from this point, and let's check it. So now it is here, and now we have give it the top 5 class, and here is the top 5 class, and here I'm going to check the adjust 3 have the 33% width. So now we are going to give the top 5 class a margin on the top side, so a space is created between this image and the heading like this. Here you see that, and let's give it. Here is top 5. Here I'm gonna increase it, top 5. Here is 8 pixel, and now here is important, and now execute it. Here it is, and now let's give the style to other things. Here I'm going to use the image indent and then give it the styles, then it will be okay. All the styles are apply. Here is the image indent. Here at the last I'm going to apply the image indent. Here it is. Here first of all I'm going to give the float left to the image. Here is the float left, and then I'm going to create a space around the image on its top side and on its right side. Here you can see that this right side space, and here is the margin, and here is the 4 pixel and 18 pixel, 0 and 0, and now let's execute it. So here it is, and by using this we are able to create the other ones. Here we have to copy it and then paste it again, and then here I want to tell you something. Here when we edit, here this is the less space and this is the class top 5, so we have to increase this margin. Actually it is less, and here I'm gonna give it the different class top 6. Here is below 2 images, here is the 3, and here is the 4. And then after the closing tag of this div, here I'm gonna place this, and now it is okay, it is present here. And now here I'm gonna give the top 6 class, so the space is created in between these images. Here it is, top 6, 13 pixel. Here is, I'm gonna reduce it, we don't need it. Here is the 13 pixel, and let's render it. So here is the space is created. Thank you for watching this video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this section and this section, and now in this lecture we are gonna build this thing and then these two sections. So this thing is already in the row, and we have created the same thing in the previous home page. Here you can see that it is also present here. So what we need to do, we just need to copy the code from the home page, and then you have to change the text only. And here is the margin on the bottom side and the top side, so we have to add the margin and the bottom on the top side. So it is okay, and here I'm gonna copy the code. Here is the row, and now here I'm gonna paste it. I think this is the closing tag of the row, so this is the closing tag of the row, and here we have to paste it. And then here I'm going to give it a pad1 class, so we can give the margin on the top and the bottom side. And here it is. Here you see that there is no margin on the top side and there is no margin on the bottom side, so that's why we have created the pad1 class. And now here I'm gonna copy this text, and here is this, and then here I'm gonna paste this text. Here is in between this paragraph, and then here is, I'm gonna cut this first line, and it is present here in the first paragraph. Here it is, and this startup is in the span. Here it is, span, and now it's going to be okay. Here it is. So now what we need to do, we just need to give the style to the pad1 class. Here is the pad1, and here is at the last, here it is. And now here is the margin bottom, and now here is 33 pixel, and here is the margin top is 44 pixel. And now here it is, space is created, and now we are gonna build this part. Here you can see that this part have the different background, it have the white background. So now here I'm gonna give it the background color. Here I'm gonna find the row where, find the div where we have give these images. Here is, it have the box 2, and here is the box 2. Here we have to give it the background color, hash F6, and now save it. And here is the background is applied, it is now just like white and gray. And now let's create this row. Both of these sections are in a single row, and this section have the 66% width and it have the 33% width. And here it is. Here, after the closing tag of the row, here I'm gonna create another div. Here it is row, and here is div. Here in this row I'm gonna create a div. Here I'm gonna create a div who have the 66% width. Here is the div. Here is adjust tool, and here is the wrap call div class. Here is the wrap call. And now here I'm gonna create the heading h2, and here is the h2. Here is our skills, and then after it we have to create another div that contain all the text. Here is, let's render it. We have to save it, and here it is. And now here we have to create all of this text in a single div. So now here I'm gonna create a div. Here is div, and give it two classes. First is top 5 to give it the space on the top side. Here is the right one to create a margin on the right side. Here is the div. Here is this, and now this right one class create the margin here. And now here is the paragraph. Here is the paragraph, and now here I'm gonna create this text. Here it is. And now here in the first paragraph, the first line is related to the anchor tag. Here is the hyperreference, and here is the anchor tag. And now here I'm also gonna give it the class link. Here is the link, and then here I'm also gonna give the class p2 to this paragraph, so it create the padding on its bottom side. And now let's execute it. So here it is created, and now here I'm gonna give a line break, then it will be okay. And here is this, and now we are gonna create the second one. Here it is, and here I'm gonna check it. Here is the second paragraph. Here is P, and here is its closing tag. And now here is the anchor tag. Here I'm gonna give hyperreference, and here is the class link. Here is the anchor tag. Here is the BR, and then it will be okay. And now let's check it. Here it is. So both of these paragraphs are created. It have the links, and now I'm gonna create this read more button, and I'm gonna create it just right after the paragraph. Here is after this here. So for this here I'm gonna copy this code. Here is Here it is created, and now what we need to do, we have to create this section. It contains the list and this background image in the list item. So now here I'm gonna create this list right after the closing tag of the adjust to, who have the 66% width, and inside the closing tag of the row, here it is. And now here is the closing tag of the row. Here I'm gonna create div. Here is the class. Here is adjust 3, and here is this. Here is wrap goal, and here is this. And first of all, here I'm gonna create a h2 heading, and here is why us. And then here after this, here we have to create this unordered list, and let's create it. Here is the UL, and here is its closing tag, and here is the class list1, and here is a top 5 to create a distance from the top. And here I'm gonna create the distance, and now here I'm gonna create the list items. Here is the list, and here is the list item. Here is the anchor tag, here is the anchor tag, and here I'm gonna paste the hyper reference. Here it is, and in between these anchor tags I'm gonna create a text. Here is this and this, and now I'm gonna increase it. So now let's execute it. Here it is. So now it have not any style and the background image here, but now I'm gonna give it the background image by using this list1 class. Here it is, the list1. Here is I'm gonna apply the style on the list items. Here is the UL, and here is I'm gonna apply the padding. Here is a 0 0 0, and here is a 25 pixel on the right side of the list items, here on this side. And now here I'm gonna add the line height 25 pixel, and here I'm gonna add the background image, that is the tick image. Here is, and here is the marker dot png here, and here is 0 and 5 pixel for the y-axis, and here is the no repeat. And then here I'm gonna add the style to the anchor tag. Here the anchor tag. Here is the anchor tag. I'm gonna give it the color just like gray type, and then when we take the mouse over it, so its color, the hash 48 is just like gray type color, and when we take the mouse over it, so it's become green type. Here is hash 45 7C00, and now here it is. So now here you see that these images are inserted, line height is given, and when we take the mouse over it, so its color is changed. So you can change the text easily, and you can increase the list items, you can increase this list. And now the padding is given on the right side. And now here I want to tell you something, that in the next next video, in the next lecture, I'm gonna create this services page. Here you can see that first of all we will create this image and about the designing programming. It is just a little gallery. Then we will create this, it have the code already created, and then create this skill set. So thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this about page, about.html. We have built this section, this, and then this list, and then this. And now in this lecture we are going to build this services page. So for this, let's do it. First of all, create a new page and then save it as services.html. and now here I'm going to copy the same code. Here it is, and we have also need first two things, content background and the container, and here it is. And now here is at the last we have to copy this closing tag of the div and the section and the footer code, and here is this. And now here is, this is the section, this is the header, and now here I'm gonna edit the menu. Here is edit it and paste it here, and here we have to write, here I'm gonna write index.html. when we click on the home, so it open the index.html, and here is the services.html. and then here in the about.html, here I'm going to check something, that when we click on the home, so index.html is going to be open, and here is also the services.html, and here is copy this and then paste it here. Here it is, and here is index.html. Copy this, and now let's go to this page, services.html, and here in the section area, first I will show you how this page look like. Here is this, reload it, and here is the services. So now it have not any content, and now first of all we are gonna build these first image, and its content contain 33% width, and this image and its text have the 33% width, and it also have the 33% width, and this, all of these three images and their text is placed inside the row div. So first of all, here I'm gonna create the row div. Here is the row, and then here is the closing tag, and now here first of all I'm going to create the div. Here is its class name is adjust3, 33%, and here it is. So now this adjust3 contain this first image and its heading and this text, and here is the div, and here is wrap call, and here is the div. And now here I'm going to create the h2 heading, designing. Here is designing, and now after this we have to insert this image. I'm going to insert the image. Here is img source, and here we have to write the images folder. Here is the page 3, here is page 3, and then here is image 1, and here is jpg, and then here is the class that is given to it. image border to create the border, and here is the top 3 to create the distance between this heading and the image, that is here this distance. And now after this we have to put this paragraph here. I'm gonna copy this paragraph, and then here it is in between these paragraphs, and then here is the close anchor tag, and here is the BR, and here is the anchor tag, here is the hyperreference, and then here I'm gonna give a class link. Here is the link, and now here I'm gonna give the class top 4 to give the distance between this image and this paragraph. Here is this is the distance, and now all the things are correct. And after the paragraph we have to insert the anchor tag. Here is this anchor tag. I'm going to copy its code. Here is it. Here I'm going to copy from it and then paste it here. So now it is created, and now let's reload it. So now it is created, all the things are perfect, all the styles are given. Here you see that we have created the style for the top 4 and the top 3. Here I'm gonna check the top 3 is given or not. Top 3 is already given, and all the styles are given. And now what we need to do, we have to create this and this. So for this we have to copy and paste the code and then change the name of the image. So copy from this, and here it is. And now here is the 3, and here is, I'm going to write SEO, and here is programming, and here is the second one. And now let's reload it. And now it is created. Here you can see that these letters are the uppercase. Here it is. And now I'm going to create this part. So what we need to do, we just need to copy and paste the code of it, and then we can change it. Here I'm going to copy and paste the code from here. Here it is, and here is this. Here is after the closing tag of the row. Here is the closing tag of the row. We have to paste it here. And now let's reload it. So here it is created, and now we have to paste this text here. I'm gonna copy it, and then I'm gonna replace this text. Here is this, and here I'm gonna cut this text. This is in the first line. Here is here it is. We have to cut it and then paste it here, and here is the closing tag span. And now let's reload it. So here it is changed, and the next thing we are going to create is this section. And now what we need to do, we just need to create a div who have the full width, 100% width, that is RGS 0, and then in that div we will create 33% width. This div contain the 33% and this text is in the separate div who have the 33% width. And now let's create it, and here is after the closing tag of the row, here is this. We have to create another div and give it the class row. Here is row, and now here we have to create a div. Here is the div, and it have the full width adjust 0. Here is the adjust 0, and here is div, and then here is the div wrap call. And now first of all I'm going to create the h2 heading. Skills set, and now let's go and create it. Here it is, and now we are gonna create this thing first of all by giving a div who have the 33% width. Here it is. I'm gonna create the first part, this. Here is the div. Here is adjust 3, and then here it is. And now here I'm gonna give, first of all in this div I'm gonna give this anchor tag, then this paragraph, and then this anchor tag, and then this paragraph. So I'm gonna copy it. Here it is, and here I'm gonna paste it here. So now here I'm gonna align it, and now this is the anchor tag. Here I'm gonna give the anchor tag. This is a link, and here is the closing tag, and here I'm gonna give the hyper reference. Here is the hash, and here I'm gonna give it class link2, and then here I'm gonna create a paragraph. Here is p4, and then here is the p, and we give it the p4 because we have to create the padding on it on the bottom side of the first paragraph. And then here I'm gonna create if this is not present here, we have to paste it here, and here is the anchor tag. Here is hyper reference, and here is the class link2, and then here is the link anchor tag, and here it is. This is the second one paragraph, and then here is its closing tag. So now let's execute it, and now let's see what is the result. So here it is created. So the thing that is not present is the space between these two paragraphs, that is given by using this heading p4, and here is the p4. Here is, I'm gonna create the p4. Here is p4. Here is 17 pixel. It is increased. So now what we need to do, we just need to copy and paste and just change the text. So I'm gonna copy and paste it again so you can change its text on your own. Here is this, and here is this, and now save it. And now here is, so both three are present, and you can change this text. And now at the end we have to paste this link, and I'm gonna copy it from the above. Here is the anchor tag, and then paste it after the, here I'm gonna show you where we need to paste it. Here is last 3D modeling, last div, after the last div. Here is after this div, and here it is. So now it is okay, this page is ready. And now in the next lecture I'm gonna make this page, and it contains the products, and I'm gonna teach you how to make this gallery. And here I'm gonna give you a hint. First of all, we will create a div, and in that div we will put this image, and along with the text. Then we will create another div, and that div contain this image. We are gonna create this gallery vertically. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video, and please practice the code. And if you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion in the course. I will help you as much as I can. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this services page. Here you can see that this is all the services page, and now in this lecture we are going to build this products page. Here is the products page. So first of all, I'm going to build div, and it have the 33% width, and then we will put these two images and the text in it. And here I'm gonna give you a hint. First of all, we will create a div, and in that div we will put this image, and along with the text. Then we will create another div, and that div contain this image. We are gonna create this gallery vertically. And here you see that we have created the same gallery here in the services, and we have to put the image and then this link and the text and then this anchor tag. So we have copied the code of putting the image, and it just provide a little facility because we have created the same code before. And there is a little bit difference here. So now here I'm gonna create the new page. Here is the control new, and save it as products. Here is products.html, and here I'm going to copy the same code. Here it is, and here is also we have to copy this container and the content background, and here it is. And now here save it, and then here is at the last we have to copy the closing tag of the content background and the container and the footer, and here it is. And now here it is. And now here I'm going to change the menu. Here is cut this current class from here and paste it here, and here I'm going to give products.html, and now here I'm going to copy it and paste it in every page. Here it is, and here it also contains this. And here is in the about.html. Here it is, and here it also contains the about.html, and here it is. And now let's execute it, reload it, and here is the products page. And now here I'm gonna create this gallery. First of all, we have to create a div who have the 100% width, and in that div we will put this heading here, our products, because here you see that this heading effect is all over these pictures. all the pictures are below this heading. That's why, because it have the width 100% due to the div that have the width 100%. So here I'm gonna create a row class because all of this gallery is inside the row. All of these images are inside a single row div. Here is the class, here is the row, and then here I'm gonna paste the div. Here is the class, here is adjust 0, and then here it is, I'm gonna increase it, and here it is class wrap call, and now here we have to paste h2 heading, our products, and now here you see that this div have the 100% width, so now it is spread over the 100%. Its effect is till there, it's the width of the div is 100% here. And now I'm gonna build the gallery, and I'm gonna create the first div for putting this image and this image. And here is, after this I'm gonna create the div. Here it is. Here it is. We have to create this div inside the row div. Here is the row div, and here is the class is adjust 3. Adjust 3 have the 33% width, and now here I'm gonna put the wrap call. Here is the div. Here is the class wrap call. And now inside this adjust 3 we have to create two divs, and one div contain this image and its text and the link, and then the second div contain this image and the text and its link. And here is the div, and now here in between we have to write the image and the text and all the things. So we have created the same thing here in the previous gallery, so we have to copy it from the image, and here is till the anchor tag, and then paste it here. So now it contains the image, and here we have to remove this top 3. We don't want to add the distance on the top, and here it is okay, and all the things are inside it. And now let's render it. Here is the image and the text, and it is, and now here I'm gonna insert, here I'm gonna write change the image name to the 4, and here it is. And now what you need to do, just copy this div. We have to create the second image. Here you see that this is the second image that is below this, and we have to create the space above it. And now let's reload it, but here we have to change its name. Here I'm going to change its name to the image 4. It's the image 4. But now here you see that it have not any space on its top because we have not give it, and here we have to give the class to the second div. Here is top 7, and here I'm gonna give it the style top 7. Here is this. Here is 34 pixel. I'm gonna give it 34 pixel, and here is save it, and here we have to write top 7, and now let's execute it. So now it is created, and now we have to create another adjust 3 and then put the image here. Here I'm gonna create it. We have to copy. Now we have to create the second div, here you see that this div adjust 3 again. Here is, we have to copy from the adjust 3, and here is the adjust 3 closing tag, and here we have to paste it again. Here it is, and here is the closing tag of the adjust 3, and here we have to write 2, and here is the 5, and now here it is. And then we have to insert the last one. So let's go, and we have to paste it again inside the row div. Here you see that this is the row div, and here is the 6, and here is the 3. So now it is inserted, the gallery is ready, and it is just same like we built in the services. And here I'm gonna explain it if you have not understand anything. Here what you need to do, first of all we have to create a row div. It contain all of these images gallery, and then we have to create 100% width div, and adjust 0 have the 100% width, and then put this heading in it. And then after this we have to create a div that have the 33% width, and in that div we will place 2 images. First this, and then we have to include another image that is below it, and then the text. And in the adjust 3 we have to create a div, then put an image, give it a image border, and here is the paragraph. It have the top 4 class to give the distance above it. Here it is. And then we have to create an anchor tag. Here below is the anchor tag, and then here is the first line in the paragraph is also the anchor tag. Here it is. And then here in the same adjust 3 div, in the same div we have to create a div. It have the top 7 margin on the top side. Here you see that, and we have to put the same image and the paragraph and all the things. Then we have to create another adjust 3 div which contain these 2 images and their text. So we have to copy it and paste it again. Here is the first div, second div in the adjust 3. Like this we have to create third adjust 3. So now in this way we have to build the gallery. And now in the next lecture I'm gonna start building this last page, that is the contact page, and I will teach you how to insert this map. And you can insert this map, and now the connection is not available, internet connection. And in the next lecture I'm gonna connect my internet, then I will show you, I will put the map, Google map in it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you have any problem, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this video. Hi guys, in the previous lecture we have built this gallery. I have teach you how to insert these images and this text and all the things, how to create this link. And now in this lecture we are gonna building this contact.html page. So now I'm gonna teach you how to insert this map and this text, and how to make this form and these links. And first of all, here let's go, and here I'm gonna create the contact.html, a new page, and save it as contact.html. Here it is. And now here I'm gonna copy and paste the code that is same. Here is the code of the header. Here I'm gonna copy at this point, and we also need this row div, so I'm also gonna copy this and then paste it here. And then here I'm gonna copy the code of the footer, and then the closing tag of the container and the content background class. Here is the footer. Where is the footer? Here I'm gonna down, and here is the closing tag of the row. And now here is, paste this and save it. And now here is the row, and now inside this row we have to create both things. This div have the width 33% and this section have the width around about 66%. So both of these sections are inside the row, and first I'm gonna build this section. First we will put this map, and here I'm gonna put this. Here we have to create a div, give it the class, here is it, and here is adjust to, and now here is the closing tag of the div, and now here we have to put the wrap call. Here is the wrap call, and now here is its closing tag, and now in between this we have to put the heading h2. Here is the closing tag of the h2. Here we have to put how to find us, and now after this we have to put a div, and inside that div we will put the map. Here is the div, I'm gonna give it the class map, and also image border, so it will put a border around this div, and here is its closing tag, and now here is this, and this is the closing tag of the adjust to. And now here first of all I'm gonna put the iframe, and it contains the link of the map. So for to get the Google map you have to type Google map. Here is the Google map link, I have opened it before, and now here it is loaded. Now you have to click on this icon here, click on this. Here it is. My internet connection is little slow, so that's why it's creating a problem. And here we have to click on this share embed map, and then here click on the embed map, and then copy this code and paste it here. And now here you can see that this is the iframe, and it have the source, a link to the Google map, and then it contains the width and the height of the iframe. Frame border is 0, and here's the style, border is 0. And now I'm gonna save it, and before I'm gonna adjust the menu, here is remove this thing from here and paste it here, and here it is, the contact.html. and now here I'm gonna copy this and paste it in the other pages. Here it is, and then here is the contact.html, and here is this, and now it is okay. And here I'm gonna reload it, and then click on the contact, and now here you see that this map is added, but now we have to give it the width and height, then it will be okay. And before giving the width and height, I'm gonna give this paragraph here, copy this and then paste it after the closing tag of the div that contain this Google map. Here is, and I'm gonna put this paragraphs in a separate div. Here is the class write one, and here is the div, and now here in between this, and here is it. First of all, here is the paragraph, and now here is the first paragraph. And now I have put these paragraphs in a div, so we can create a distance on the right side on the div by using this write one class, and then I'm gonna give it class p2, so we can create a distance on the bottom side of the first paragraph. And here is the clear one, and here is the paragraph is start from this, and now it is okay. All the things are ready. This is the div that contain these paragraphs. Here is the second paragraph, here is the first paragraph, here is the div, and here is the div that contain this iframe, and here is the heading, and this is the main div. Here I'm gonna close it. This is the closing tag of the row, and now it is okay. And now here I'm gonna reload it. So this is the distance that is added by using the p2 class. And now I'm gonna give the style to this iframe, and here I'm gonna give it width and height. We can remove this and we can give the width and height to this iframe in the style sheet. I'm just telling you, you can also do this. Here is the height is 235 pixel, and here I'm gonna give it the width. Here is the width around about 572 pixel, and then here I'm gonna give it border none, and now it's okay. And here is reload it. So now it is inserted, and now here you see that the div have the more width, so I'm gonna reduce the width and height of the div. Here is the div. I'm gonna give it the style by using this map div. Here is the div have the more width than the width of the iframe. Here is this, and here it is. And here I'm gonna give the width to the div. Here I'm gonna give the same width to the div as we give to the iframe, because both width and height is same, so it look awesome. And here is 235 pixel, and now here I'm gonna apply the margin on the div, so we can create a distance on the top side of the div and on the bottom side of the div. And here it is, and here it is adjusted. Now it is okay. Form is inserted. Here you can check this. And now I'm gonna apply a different color on this paragraph, and we have to use this class that is a clear one, color one, it's mean color one, and I'm gonna use it and give it a different color. Here I'm gonna give it here. Here it is, color. Here is F9000, and here it is. Here we have to check it here, right hash, then it will be work. Here it is. And now I'm gonna create another div who have the 33% width in the same row div, and then we will create this form. Here it is. Go to here, and this is the closing tag of the adjust to, and this is the closing tag of the row, and in the row we have to create here a div who have the 33% width. And now let's create it. Here it is, class adjust 3, and here is its closing tag, and then here is the div. Here is the wrap call. Here it is. And now here I'm gonna give the heading. Here is the contact form heading. Here is h2 contact form. Here is the form. And now after this, here we have to create form, and here is form, and here is id form. And now in this form, first of all, I'm gonna create a field set. Here is the field set, and here is the closing tag of the field set. Here is the field set, and here I'm gonna create the label, and inside the label we will put the field, and here it is type text, and here is the email, input type email, and the second one is tell to input the phone number. And here I'm gonna put the placeholder. Here I'm gonna write enter name, and then here is the placeholder, enter email, and here is enter number, telephone number or anything. And then we have to create a message box. You can change this text. Here is only write the email and phone, and here I'm gonna create a message box by using the text area you have already know. Here is the label, and here is the text area, text txt text area, and here is its closing tag of the text area. And now here I'm gonna add some space, then you can understand it clearly. And here I'm gonna give it the placeholder. So you have already know what is the placeholder. The placeholder is just used for it is just used for giving the information to the user that this field is related to the phone. So when we write anything, so this text is going to be disappear, because it is just showing us that what this field about. And here I'm gonna write message, and now after this we have to create a div. Here is the div, and that contain these buttons. Here is div btns, and here is, and now here we have to place the buttons. We have already created the anchor tag like that button, and here I'm gonna copy the anchor tag read more button and then change it. Here it is, and here it is, and here is this, and here I'm gonna write send, and here is clear. And now here I'm gonna remove this top 4. We don't want to distance on the top side. And now let's execute it. Here it is, but now we can give it the style, then it will be okay. Here I'm gonna giving it the styles. First of all, I'm gonna give the style by using the form ID. Here is the form to the whole form. Here I'm gonna add the margin on the top side of the form, 12 pixel 000, and here is the width of the form is whole form width is 300 pixel. Here you can see that the space is going to be added on the top side. And now I'm gonna give the style to the input and the text area. Here is the hash form, here is the input, here is the text area, and here it is. Here is this, and here I'm gonna provide the border 1 pixel solid hash white color border around the form, and here is the background of the form is white. Here it is, and here is the font is 13 pixel Arial, and here is the color of the text is hash b6 b6 b6, and then here is the font style italic, and now here is the outline is medium. none. Medium is just its width, and you can simply write the none, so its uh, outline is outline when we click on it, so outline is shown to us, so that will be removed. Medium is just its width, so here is float the input and the text area to the left side. Here it is floated to the left, and when we give it the styles and height and width to the input field, then it will be okay. Here it is. We have to give the height and the width and the padding to the input field. Here I'm going to add the padding. Here is a 5 pixel, 9 pixel, and here is a 6 pixel on the bottom side, 18 pixel on the right side, and then here is the width, 271 pixel, and then here is the height, is the 17 pixel. And now here it is, we have to give the height and width to the text area, and here it is. Here we have to provide height, 268 pixel. Here is the overflow, auto, and here I'm going to provide the padding is 6 pixel. Here is the 0 pixel on the bottom side and the left side, and here is the 18 pixel on the right side. And here I'm gonna give the width to the text area, and then here I'm gonna give the resize none, and here is its margin, 0 pixel for all the sides. And now let's render it. So here it is given, and now we have to provide the style to the label, then it will be okay. We have to provide the height and width to the labels, so we have not provided the height, so that's why it is mixed. Here I'm gonna provide the style to the label. Here is the label, here is the position is relative, here is the overflow is become hidden, and here is the display is block, and here is the minimum height is 35 pixel. So now every label have the height 35 pixel. Here you can see that, so that's why this content is not going to be mixed up. And now because these fields are in the label, so that's why it is mixed up. And now here I'm gonna give the style to the buttons div. Here is the buttons, and first of all here I'm gonna give text align to the left side, and then here is the width 300 pixel, and here is the padding on the top side of the button div to create a distance between the form and the buttons. Here is 15 pixel, and this is the width of the buttons div. And here I'm gonna provide the style to the anchor tags of the button. Here is the display inline block, and then here is the margin 0, and here is a 4 pixel on the left side, 0 and 20 pixel on the right side, and here it is. So now here the margin on the top side is created. So now we have to remove this field set. Here we have to write field set, and here is the margin of the field set is 0, and here is the padding is also 0, and then here is the border is also none. So now here is the field set is removed, and this page is ready. So now in the next lecture we are gonna start building the third website, and if you have any problems, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video.